I have no idea how West Ham just won that game of football. Well, I do. It was Moyes' ball, wasn't it? I mean, and it worked absolutely perfectly. I'm not going to come on here and pretend any different. For the first half, and actually the start of the second half, I was really, really frustrated with what I'd seen. I was, actually, never mind frustrated, I was completely affronted at the amount of work we'd asked Areola to do, who was man of the match, by the way, for me anyway. However, the more I look at it, the more I think, maybe, just maybe, it was a Moyes masterclass, and I always feel dirty saying it, honestly, I really, really do. I'm absolutely delighted with that win. I'm buzzing. How my mood can change so quickly is absolutely unbelievable. When it gets towards the end of a game, obviously I know I'm going to do a video. And I in my mind, I start thinking, what am I going to say? And at the point where it was 1-1, I was going to go with the title, Lucky, Lucky West Ham. Because at 1-1, we were the worst team. Everton had loads of chances. I mean, Areola had not only saved a penalty, he'd made at least 2 world-class saves and 4 other really, really good ones. We had not looked good. Look, if you come and join us in Patreon tomorrow, by the way, Patreon, check it out. The link's in the description below if you want to join us up on Patreon. We've got a free trial at the moment. In fact, sorry, it's Monday. Monday we've got an interview with Dean Ashton, and we got our player ratings. You will see that I will not rank, said that correctly, Lucas Paquetá and quite a few others very highly at all. I was not happy with what I'd seen. But We've won 3-1. We've won that game 3-1. Now, I'm going to talk you through the goals and a couple of the performances in just a second, but I think we're going to be talking about this for a couple of days. That's incredible. I should probably say now before I forget, results have gone with us today. Brighton result went with us. The Chelsea result, to an extent, went with us again. It's actually, we're up into 7th, and we are not looking too bad at all. Look, start of the game, we weren't good. Everton were really hard to play against, but I felt there was a nervousness within the crowd, within the Goodison crowd, and you can absolutely understand why. Look, it don't look good for Everton. It really doesn't. I was thinking before this, they've probably got enough in them that if they get another 6 points, they'll probably be all right. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure anymore. I think as long as they don't get another punishment, I think they'll be all right. If they get another 6 points, I think there is a possibility that they could go down. They were not a good team, which made how badly we were playing even worse. I thought we were really, really bad. The first half, Soucek was awful. Ward-Prowse was awful. They weren't the only ones either. Bowen and Kudus were trying. I mean, they really were, but there was no supply line there at all. As I say, Paquetá was pretty damn poor. What can I say? West Ham, we seem to manage to see off like some really early pressure from Everton. There was a penalty. Now, the penalty was for a Kurt Zouma handball. I thought it might have been a bit harsh, truth be known, but it was. I can understand how it was given. In the days of VAR, the referee didn't initially give it. Then he was told to go over to the screen. When they go over to the screen, you know what's going to happen. He overturned his decision. They had a penalty. Now, it was Beto who was going to go and take this penalty. Now, Areola had already saved quite well from him, although I thought the shot was very much straight at Areola. Beto took the penalty. I didn't think it was a bad penalty. It wasn't one of those ones that was straight at the keeper. He didn't miss it. No, Areola dived low and saved really well. Even then, you felt that they wanted to take that glory away from West Ham because they started reviewing it. Whether he'd moved off the line, Areola, or whether he'd moved too quickly. Forget all that. It was really good. It was a really good save. So that was the first, not the first, it actually wasn't the first time Areola had been called upon, but it was right before half-time. It was a really good penalty save, and at that point, he'd kept us in the game. So you're thinking, okay, right, half-time. Let's go in there now. Let's regroup. Let's fashion something else. Let's try and get Paquetá into the game. Whatever. Let's try and get the ball to Jarrod Bowen and/or Mohamed Kudus, who looked sharp. They really did look sharp, but they were just devoid of any sort of supply. And this is what was starting to frustrate me. I think we've got good players here, yet here we are against Everton, who are. And I'm sorry, Everton. I'm not hating on you here. Please go back and watch, the preview and all the other stuff. I've blown a lot of smoke up your arse, quite frankly. And I think, I really feel sorry for you and what's happened to the club. I really, really do. I think you're the victims in all this. But I mean, my point being, they're pretty crap. All right. So I thought, well, let's. Why are we sitting back against a team that are not very good? I thought Everton's best attacker was Jordan Pickford and these long balls. But hey, look, I'm not really not saying that to be sensationalistic or to be mean. Far from it. The crowd were really tentative and nervous, as I mentioned earlier. So I thought, second half, let's come out, forget it. West Ham have been on the Valium. We'd been on the Horlicks, right? Honestly, David Moyes sleeping pills into the cup of tea at half time. We came out, we were awful. That allowed the Goodison crowd to get their tails up. They were behind the team. Absolutely no surprise. Quite early in the second half, Beto scored his goal. He scored his goal. And look, from Everton's point of view, it was a good goal. From West Ham's point of view, it was a bad goal. I didn't feel that Lucas Paquetá had tracked. Maybe it was Godfrey running down that side. I might be slightly wrong on that. Ball came over, good cross, and it felt like Mavropanos didn't track Beto. Excuse me. It felt like Zouma had already travelled across. It just didn't feel like Zuma's man. It felt like it was Mavropanos' man. But we could have done better. So it was 1-0, and we did not look like getting back into it, but we did. And it was from a James Ward-Prowse corner. He'd been bad, James Ward-Prowse. I'm not going to pretend any different. I didn't think he'd been very good at all. His chances to impact the game are halved now because he's not taking the outswingers anymore, which I thought was what he was doing best getting assists from at the start of the season. I thought the outswingers were more productive at the start of the season than the in-swingers. In fact, I don't think it. I know that to be the case because I looked at it. Now, from that side, Bowen's taken him. So his opportunity to impact the game is halved. He'd not played well. He took the in-swinger, went to the back post. It was sort of near the back post. Really good flick on header from Kurt Zouma. It was 1-1. I thought brilliant. And then they came at us again. They kept on coming at us. And it was at 1-1. At that point, I thought, we're riding our luck here. And in between all this stuff that I'm saying, you had another brilliant save from Areola. Soucek, who was terrible, by the way. Soucek was terrible in the first half. Awful. As good as he was last week, last week I thought Soucek was his best. This week he was at his worst, well, at least in the first half he was. David Moyes started to move things around. By the time he brought Phillips on for James Ward-Prowse, which he did immediately after we'd scored that equalising goal at 1-1, Soucek was sort of pushed forward a little bit, and he moved Paqueta's position around. He went more central. All sorts of stuff was happening. So look, Moyes was trying. I mean, he really, really was. But my word, I mean, it made me incredibly frustrated. It made me incredibly nervous at the time, and I just thought there's just an Everton goal coming, but it didn't come. What actually came was quite an amazing goal from Tomas Soucek. I mean, this game is a game of contradictions and paradox. It really is. I'll tell you what had happened. Kudus had run down the left wing. Kudus had been crap on the left wing every time I see him play. He ran down the left wing. He put over a ball. Actually, to be fair, I don't think the ball was all that good. It was sort of a bit over here. Went to the way past the far post. I don't know. It's about 15 yards away at a really tight angle. Soucek controlled it on his chest. And he launched. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this name for the second week in a row, boys and girls. An absolute ripschnorten, an absolute Grudelschnitzel, a howitzer. He chested it down, whacked it with his right foot. Top corner. Sorry, don't say that anymore. Top bins. Top bins. What a strike. What a strike. Where did that come from? Before that, he'd cleared the ball off the line, by the way. I should probably say that. That was following a good save from Areola. So at this point, we're 2-1 up. And that was injury time, like 92nd minute or something like that. I thought, what's happening here? I'm re-scribbling me notes. I'm not looking and thinking, luck. Maybe that's a little bit of lucky West Ham when I was thinking of the headline, but I'm thinking, hold on a second, maybe this isn't luck. Maybe this is exactly how David Moyes has planned it. Which sort of made me a bit uncomfortable, really, I've got to say, because it was a horrendous game to watch for the most part. For 80 minutes, I would have to say, that was a horrendous game. From 80 minutes onwards, it was sort of back and forth, like a basketball match, like that it was. And then we scored again. Now, by this point, Everton were attacking and they'd committed loads of men forward. Everyone had made substitutions. Antonio had come on by this point, and he had posed a bit of a threat. Not that he was involved in that goal. We had a counter-attack, and Edson Alvarez scored it. So, so for all our good attacking players, The goals came from Tomas Soucek shortly after he cleared off the line, so he's back that end of the pitch. Kurt Zouma and Edson Alvarez, yes, they scored our 3 goals. Figure that one out. Look, number 1, I've been talking for far too long. Number 2, it's my daughter's birthday and I've got a meal booked, so I'm going to have to skedaddle. I will be back tomorrow to talk more about it. Absolutely, I will. I'll talk to you then about Edson Alvarez, and I mean, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. Anyway, we'll leave it there. One thing I must say is I did go swimming. I can already see on my phone. I do mute the phone, but I can already see. I've actually got it there. 198 messages. 198 messages on there, right? And I would suggest that 197 of them, because, you know, sometimes you can sneak down and have a little look on WhatsApp about opening a message. 197 of them are talking about my swimming. So I can already see everyone saying, go swimming again on Thursday, go swimming again on... I've even said, Charlie Woodgate, make sure you go swimming again on Thursday, Gonzo. I went swimming today. I think that's more likely. Whilst I'd like to give David Moyes credit, I'm probably going to take all the credit for myself. And don't forget, it was me that went down and drove down to the South Coast, collected James Ward-Prowse, drove him up in the van, dropped him off. He got the assist. I think I feel fully responsible for what happened today. For those of you that take me seriously, which I know is about 2%, I'm joking. Really pleased. Really, really, really pleased. And the other results went our way. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Back-to-back wins. New contract for Moisey. I'm joking. All right, I am joking. But you can see what's going to happen, can't you? Look, I'm absolutely delighted. When he does crap, David Moyes, I am absolutely happy to say. Well, not happy to say, but I'm, you know, I'll turn around and I'll say David Moyes was crap. I do believe today those were David Moyes' tactics to sit back, soak up the pressure, and then win that game late at the end, and that's exactly what he did. So I've got to say credit where credit's due to the old Moisasaurus there. He's done it. He's absolutely done it there. If we can win, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'll be back tomorrow. Catch you later.